The Knicks find themselves up 2-0 on the Indiana Pacers and now head to Indy where they'll be without OG Anunoby and possibly be without Jalen Brunson. Let's talk about it.
Let's run that intro.
They're playing basketball.
You're listening to the Knicks Nation podcast, where we've got all your Knicks needs covered.
Puts up a three. Bang! Bang! He ties the game!
Now, live from the city that never sleeps, here are your hosts, Anthony and Chris.
What's going on, Knicks Nation? This is episode 52 of the Knicks Nation podcast. We are back after game 2. Game 3 is coming up here. New York Knicks have a 2-0 series lead on the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, a lot to talk about tonight. The injuries, Jalen Brunson's heroics. But first, Chris, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. You know, I thought I'd be a lot more happier being up 2-0 against the Indiana Pacers, But, we got that injury bug again to talk about, man. Can't shake it. Can't shake a feeling, but how are you feeling tonight, Ant?
I'm actually feeling okay. The game was absolutely incredible. Obviously, on the anniversary of the Willis Reed coming out the day. It's crazy. Jalen Brunson leaves the second quarter, comes back, third quarter, pretty much trying to settle the crowd down, ultimately comes back and fuels the New York Knicks to a 2-0 series lead. And obviously, a lot to talk about in that game. Anunoby, I thought, really set the tone in that game, but unfortunately, I guess that's why you're sad, because look, I was super happy, and then today I'm like, damn, Anunoby, he's already been rolled out for game 3, and Woj said he's probably not going to play in game 4. So yeah, Knicks are dropping like flies. We're dropping like flies, but the Knicks always find a way to overcome their injuries. And look, We'll talk about who we think will replace Anunoby in the starting lineup and whatnot, and what the rotations will look like. But yeah, but Chris, we're still up 2-0. We just need 2 more wins to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Does that make you happier?
It does. It does, man. Look, overall, I feel pretty good. It's just a bummer, the injury bug is hitting us. Look, it's hit us all season, so I really should be conditioned to this already. But it sucks, man. OG Anunoby was out there literally giving you one of the best offensive games of the season, if not the best he's had as a Knick for sure. And it's just a shame, man, that he had to leave this game. But with that said, look, we're up 2-0, so I can't complain, man. I can't complain.
Yeah, up 2-0, and the Celtics just lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, so that's hilarious, by the way.
Wow.
So, look, Brunson is questionable for game 3. I figure I just threw the Celtics loss in there just to throw them a little jab,
Yeah,
but,
the unbeatable Celtics, that you're hearing about all over the media.
Exactly. So Brunson is questionable for game 3. Anunoby's out. So who do you think is going to replace Anunoby in that starting 5? Do you feel like, I don't know, who do you think is going to replace Anunoby in the starting 5?
I think we saw it. We saw it last night. It has to be Precious.
Yeah.
Precious was in there, and he was just, he was good. Obviously, you're not going to get as much as an offensive punch as you would with OG Anunoby, but he does go out there and do a lot of things defensively that you like. And I think he had 2 or 3 offensive boards late in that game, which were huge for us. So
yeah,
I think it'll be Precious.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Precious. I think we're going to look over a starting 5 of Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, Precious, and Isaiah Hartenstein. And it's whether, and the bench is going to be the real question mark, in my opinion. It's whether Shake Milton will get in there or whether Alec Burks will get in there. We saw Alec Burks in game 2. So my guess, it will probably be Alec Burks. But don't sleep on Shake Milton, because when Shake Milton got in there, he showed us quite a bit. bigger body, more of a defender than Alec Burks and can shoot the ball. So it's just whether or not you think Tom Thibodeau is going to go that route. But I think Alec Burks will ultimately get a run because you cannot just play 6 guys. You can't play 6 guys, especially dealing with this Brunson injury. I was listening to the Alan Hahn show today, and he said he was hearing some things about how Jalen Brunson was able to get back on the court in the second half. And he said that he pretty much, he didn't say it, but he insinuated that he went into the ice bath, and they were doing everything to try to get him back on the court. And ultimately, he did get back on the court. Now, he's still questionable, but I'll be shocked if Jalen Brunson doesn't play in Game 3. So, yeah.
Likewise, I'll be shocked as well. It is interesting because he came out and, like you said, he tried to quiet the crowd down and his teammates at that. Everybody was hyped to see him come back after missing almost an entire quarter and a half,
Yeah.
So, that did concern me at first because I was like, hold up, it might not be a go. But, he gave it a shot and the rest was history, right? Talk about, on the anniversary of Willis Reed coming out the tunnel and you have Jalen Brunson, that gave me, after the game when I thought about it, that just gave me chills, man. It was just insane. Yeah. But, in Game 3, who knows what we're going to get from Jalen Brunson, if there's some swelling or something like that, it could bother him. But look, in the past postseason with Jalen Brunson, he was bothered by ankle injuries, and you wouldn't know it. He went out there, he's a warrior, and he's not going to use it as an excuse. He's going to go out there and battle no matter what.
Yeah, well said. Look, JB's a warrior. Like I think Dante or Josh Hart, one of them said it. If he's walking, he's going to play. And that's what he did in the second half. And ultimately, he looked good in the second half. Like, I didn't see a hobbled Jalen Brunson. I mean, did you notice anything? Like, I didn't really see. When he came in in the third quarter, when he was more off the ball.
Yeah.
And Dante was bringing the ball up, Hart was bringing the ball up more, but as the second half progressed, he just looked like Jalen Brunson. So the injury is mysterious. We don't know what it is. They're saying it has to be more than just a sore foot. But hey, He's out there, he's playing. That's all that matters. So
yeah. I feel the same. I mean, they said sore right foot.
Yeah.
And then when you look at right before he got taken out, or even when he got hurt, he was more so grabbing towards, his groin area, maybe the hamstring area.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem like a right foot type of thing to me. But hey, I'm no doctor, right? But I will say, when he did come out, when he came back and they had Jalen Brunson in there, like you said, Dante brought up the ball, Josh Hart brought up the ball. They kind of hit Brunson a little bit in the corner for the first few possessions. Every now and then, Brunson would bring it up a little bit, try to do a quick step. To me, that was him testing it in game action. And then once TJ McConnell started getting into it with Brunson, that's kind of when Brunson was like, you know what? It's now or never. And he was a full go after that. So shout out to TJ McConnell for poking the bear and bringing Brunson back.
Shout out to TJ. Shout out to Rick Carlisle for benching TJ McConnell. You want to cry about something, Rick Carlisle? How about cry about your coaching? Yeah. You want to cry about these refs and they're not treating us right, or small market teams, and we just want a chance to win the game. You benched McConnell. You put in Nembhard. Nembhard is the target. I've been saying it all series long. When Brunson sees Nembhard guarding him, it is barbecue chicken. That's what Brunson sees. So cry about it. I mean, keep crying. Keep crying about it. So
I thought that was a key. I mean, look, that was a key of the game, in my opinion. Yeah. It's no secret TJ McConnell has been a pest. I said it before this series even started that he was going to be a problem for us, as far as being one of those pesky Kyle Lowry types. But look, TJ McConnell has been the answer when it comes to Jalen Brunson. Don't get me wrong. JB is still scoring on TJ McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not easy. Not as easy as he's getting buckets against Aaron Nesmith or even Nembhard at that. So if I was Rick Carlisle, I would have left TJ McConnell in there. And you saw TJ McConnell on the sideline. He looked kind of pissed, man. I'm sure he wanted to be out there. I'm sure he knows he's having a big impact on this series. Granted, they're down, 2 games, but to me, that's a bad coaching job by Rick Carlisle. You can't just, if a player is having
Right, baby.
if a player's having an impact for you,
Yeah.
why are you going to take him out late and insert somebody else who, yes, can make some shots, but is getting cooked left and right? Doesn't make sense.
Exactly. S550 says in the chat, appreciate every single one of you joining us tonight. S550 says, definitely going to be harder to take a game in Indiana without OG Anunoby, but we definitely can't do it without our king, number 11. Yeah, look, OG Anunoby obviously is the main defender on Pascal Siakam, and right when OG Anunoby left the game, you saw Pascal Siakam kind of get going a little bit. The length that Siakam has over Josh Hart, that's why the Knicks put pressures on him. So guarding Siakam is going to be a major like team. It's going to be a team effort all around. And look, I got faith in the guys. It's next man up. But losing Anunoby was just like a punch in the gut. Such like a fluke play, running a fast break, and he stayed on the ground. You could see him in pain, and it just didn't look good. Like the Knicks are calling it a strained hamstring. They're not telling us how bad of a strain it is. So we just don't know. But all we know is that he's out for game 3, more than likely out for game 4. So that leaves him with 4 days rest. And then game 5, in between game 4 and game 5, I think the New York Knicks have 2 more days off. So that's essentially a week off for OG Anunoby. I'm not sure if he'll get back for that. Maybe. Look, all we got to do is get 2 more. Can we get 2 wins without OG Anunoby is the real question. Do you think we can get 2 wins without 2 more wins and then we advance without OG Anunoby?
Yeah, I think so. As long as Jalen Brunson is on that court, we have a chance. That's always been pretty much our mantra the entire season, and it still stands true now, right? Look, Jalen Brunson is a big piece of what we're doing. He's the biggest piece, and as Brunson goes, we go.
Yeah. Big Taz says, question, do you think Jalen Brunson should rest and we give the Pacers a chance to win so they can stop crying? Man, oh man, when Carlisle said that stuff in the post-game interview, I was dumbfounded. But it actually crossed my mind, Chris, about I know it's like a crazy thought, and I probably sound stupid in saying it, but Knicks are up 2-0, Brunson is hobbled, and Anunoby's out. I don't obviously you want your guys to be there, for the next round, but we have to win this round in order to get to the next round. I don't know. It just came across me what if we just game 3? All right, have your little fun, do whatever you have to do to win that game, Indiana. Because remember, let's say Brunson, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say Brunson's out and Anunoby's out. Anunoby's already out. But in the first round, the Indiana Pacers lost to the Milwaukee Bucks without Dame and without Giannis 1 game. So it's possible. So it just came across my mind maybe give Brunson an extra couple of days and send him out there on Mother's Day for game 4. But I know that's not how we operate, right? As soon as I thought about that, I was like, nah, that's not how we operate. Let's take game 3. Let's
No way, man. No way. Especially with Tibbs, man. If you're good to go, he's gonna send you out there.
Yeah.
And he doesn't send you out there to try to lose. We're out there trying to win. So, in my opinion, you go out there and you try your best to steal game 3 at Indy.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be, that's gonna be the goal. Is to go out there and look, even without OG Anunoby, I still think the Knicks have enough no matter what, simply because we play defense. We play defense, and the Indiana Pacers, don't. Simple as that. They don't. You're telling me the Knicks scored 31 points in game 2 against the Indiana Pacers, and Jalen Brunson missed a quarter and a half? I mean, Come on. It's there, It's our defense that's going to win us this series.
Stanley in the chat says, you play to win the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. S550 says, can we talk about how the media openly hating on the Knicks? It almost feels like envy. Yeah, like I posted a few things about it, Chris, but I mean the TNT crew. To me, it's just deeper than basketball regarding them. Don't really want to spend too much time on that, but it's deeper than basketball. Whether you think they hate somebody, they hate the owner, or they don't like Thibs, or they don't like the agent, the former agent Leon Rose. It's something other than basketball. It's deeper than basketball. So that's my just 2 cents on that. But what do you got to say about that?
I mean, at this point, and look, after game 2, I stupidly watched the TNT post game coverage, thinking that this is it. We're finally going to get some type of praise, whatever. And it didn't really come, right? Instead, what would we got? Shaq making faces, egging on Charles Barkley, talking about how New York is overrated, this and that is overrated. We're not that good. Oh, we're just going to get smashed by the Celtics in the next round anyway, and they're going to take pleasure in watching that happen. That's what we get. That's what we get. So like you said, I'm basically done with the media. It's like Knicks for clicks basically at this point. They're just trying to do whatever they can, because it gets rating. They'll say anything bad about the Knicks and they don't give us the props we deserve,
Yeah.
They do talk about Jalen Brunson and give him some flowers, but the Knicks as a team, they always try to bring us down, man.
Yeah, it's just always it's just always like it's a constant feeling of having to prove yourself. And that's, the Brunson mentality, and that's how we feel as Knicks fans. We always feel like we have to prove ourselves to them. But at this point, I'm like, I don't care what they think. But
exactly.
Look, all we have to get is 2 more wins. We're up 2-1 in this series. We took care of business in Madison Square Garden. That's what you want to do. The Indiana Pacers have not lost in their home arena since March 18th. So that's going on almost 2 months here. That is a tough place to play. I'm sure game 3 is going to be loud. It's going to be hectic. I'm sure that's probably why Rick Carlisle was setting up for this game 3 to give his team a puncher's chance, because he knows his team has been the softer team in this series. The Knicks have outplayed them. The Knicks have outcoached them. The Knicks have pretty much been the better team. And look, coming into this series, we knew that the Knicks were the better team. And we're up 2-0. And now all we have to do is steal 1 in Indiana. That's all we have to do is take 1 in Indiana like we did in Philly. And no OG Anunoby, it's going to be tough. But I think we can get the job done. And if we win game 3, suck the soul out of the Indiana Pacers. Make Rick Carlisle say something else. Oh, what now, Rick? What are you going to say now, Rick? It's always like, oh, we should be up. Like the 76ers series. Oh, we should have been up 3-2. That's what they were saying on their side.
Yep.
So, yeah, just get game 3. Suck the soul out of them. Because Boston, like, they lost tonight. So
they're not unstoppable. They're not unstoppable. Yeah. But look, it's no secret, right? The officiating has been crazy this entire playoff series. With whether you want to go to the 76ers game, whether you want to go to, game 1 or game 2, whatever, of the Pacers series. The officiating has always been questionable at times. But this isn't the 76ers series, In my opinion, game 1 and game 2 versus the Pacers hasn't been that badly officiated. Did we get some breaks? Yes. Hell yeah, we did. But they also had their chances as well, and I don't know, man. I just think it's ridiculous, this entire narrative that Rick Carlisle is trying to throw out there, where basically, oh, it's a small market team, so of course they want New York to win, blah, blah, blah. The refs are basically gifting us wins now. I don't buy that, man. I don't buy that. Because when you look at the playoff landscape, what other teams out there that are smaller markets that are just booming right now? Minnesota, OKC. Come on. They're right there with, as far as being a small market with Indy. So I feel like that's just BS, man. Whether he's trying to just rile up their guys there and basically make it it's the entire NBA against us type of thing. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's going for, but come on, man. you're not talking about some of the craziness we saw in the 76ers series with the referees here. It's nowhere close to it.
Got a poll in the YouTube chat. Are you concerned about the Knicks' health woes? Yes or no, we will be fine. That's up to 28 votes. Yes is winning at 54%. Look at just dropping like flies, man. It's like a punch in the gut. It's like going down the list. Randall out for the season. Mitch Robinson out for the season. Bojan Bogdanovic out for the season. Now we have to deal with this OG Anunoby injury that doesn't look great. I mean, like I've seen a lot of hamstring injuries throughout watching basketball, even in football, and those are tricky. Those are extremely tricky. But all we have to do is hope for the best for OG Anunoby. Hopefully he gets the Jalen Brunson treatment, whatever they did to Jalen Brunson in that second quarter. They sprinkled pixie dust, or I don't know what they did in that second quarter, but they got him right. And because look, Anunoby's a major piece to this puzzle. And the beauty is, if we win, we wrap this series up quickly. You know, we got maybe like 8-9 days until the Eastern Conference Finals. So that has to be in your mind as well. But I want to go back to Alec Burks or Shake Milton. Obviously, we think it's more likely going to be Precious to start because he'll probably be put on Siakam. But Deuce, I mean, we haven't brought up Deuce yet.
Yeah.
He's been MIA these first couple of games. Missing in action, Deuce McBride. Hasn't provided really anything off the bench. And it's shocking because in round one, he was playing so well for us. Hitting his shots, hitting his open threes, mid-range, defense is still there. But on top of Burks or Shake Milton, I think Deuce has to be, come on, Deuce. We need you. We need you, you know?
Yeah, and you said it. You know, Deuce was big in the 76ers series. You know, he was out there making big shots. His defense was on point. And then when you flip now to the Indy series, where you figured, you know, he's not defending someone like a Maxey or quicker guard. You know, these guys are much slower in that aspect. He's looking kind of like he's just all over the place, you know? He's not just that steady defensive presence for whatever reason. And not giving us much, you know. Last game he had 4 points, 104 from the field throw, you know, from field goal. And then in the game one against Indy, he basically was a no-show. Had just 2 shot attempts and didn't make any.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, maybe he was due for a bad game, I guess you could say, but now we've seen 2 that haven't been as good as we really expected, especially here in the playoffs where he's been rock steady for us, you know, especially when Brunson has come off the court. So that's another little concern, but you know, I'm sure he'll turn it around. You know, history says that he will, simply because he's a very good shooter now. You know, he's been proving it this season that he can shoot the ball well, and I'm sure he's going to bounce back.
I just thought of something like, if you're going to start Precious in the starting 5, your bench is kind of small because you're going to bring in Burks, possibly Burks or Shake Milton, who are, you know, guards, and Deuce. Those are 2 guards. So do you think Sims will get some run or some spot minutes here and there to give, you know, our guys a breather? It's going to be funky. I mean, it's going to be funky. And I was even thinking of maybe, I don't know, starting Deuce. Tom Thibodeau can go many ways in this in the starting 5 in game 3. But if you start Deuce, obviously someone has to get relegated to the bench. But yeah, I'm going to be interested. Like, I think it's going to be Precious all in all, but our bench is going to be small. I don't know. What do you think about? It's just something I just thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, if you really think about it a little bit further, it's kind of a good point, you know. We saw a lot of Jericho Sims starting earlier on, you know, before in the season. Yeah. Obviously, iHeart's emergence changed all of that, but you know, I think Sims could possibly get some meaningful minutes. You know, we need bodies, man. You know, I don't think you can run, you know, 6-7 guys out there and just you know, survive that way, in my opinion. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I really do think Jericho Sims might see some minutes this next game.
Yeah, a few people in the chat agree as well. LV, what's going on, LV? I can see Sims getting some minutes. It's going to have to happen. We started Deuce without OG in the regular season. Yeah, we did. LV says Precious will start. I see Sims and Burks and Deuce off the bench. Yeah, look, it kind of, this OG Anunoby injury kind of forces Thibs to go 8 because, you know, you obviously need some, like a scoring punch off the bench, and you hope to get that with Alec Burks. I mean, I'm hoping Alec Burks has like a 15 to 20 resurgence. Playoff Burks, big money Burks. This is the time to arrive, big money AB, you know? And look, if he does, I'll be ecstatic. But yeah, you kind of need a big off the bench to kind of, you know, give Hartenstein a rest and give Precious a rest here and there. So yeah, the more I'm thinking about it, the more, and people in the chat agree as well. I think it's Sims and Chris, and Chris, he's quick on his feet too. Like, he's not like, Sims can guard, you know?
Yeah. Not only that, I think he'd be good, I think he'd be great actually, simply because he has that bounce. He has that quick bounce. He's going to be able to go get us some rebounds, maybe some offensive boards, and if not, at the least, maybe he's somebody who can put a body on Siakam, and then maybe get him off his spots a little bit, make him have some trouble. Because as is, we saw late in this game too, where Siakam started to kind of get into a flow and start hitting some shots for them. So, everybody's projecting Siakam to have a big game 3. It's going to take a team effort, in my opinion, but I think Sims could be part of that solution as well.
Yeah, so it's gonna be funky. It's gonna be different, but all hands on deck in Indiana. Look, we've been dealing with this all year, and players have stepped up in their role, in their position. That's what makes this Knicks team so fun to watch and such a resilient group. All we need to do is get one in Indiana. Game 3 is going to be dealt. There's going to be a lot of emotions in Game 3, but look, in Game 3 in the first round, the Knicks were kind of hanging in there, and then the 76ers had that blow up third quarter, if you remember, and Beach shouldn't have even been in the game. But
right,
yeah, Knicks. Check this stat out. The Knicks are 5-0 when trailing at halftime this postseason.
Wow.
Talk about third quarter of doom. Not these playoffs.
Yeah.
It seems like the Knicks are going in halftime, and I don't know what they're doing in the locker room, but keep on doing it because it's working. 5-0 when trailing at halftime this postseason.
Yeah. I mean, they hinted at that in a few broadcasts as well. They were like, I don't remember if they were just interviewing a coach or somebody, but they were like basically saying the Knicks get stronger as the games go on. The later the game goes on, the Knicks effort just goes up, 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 up. And we saw that in game 2 with the Pacers, this Pacers game. The Indiana Pacers again outscored the Knicks in bench points. They damn near almost out-rebounded the Knicks. I think they had more offensive boards.
Yeah. But
the Knicks in the fourth quarter got 5 huge offensive boards. And when you look at the stats, you wouldn't be able to tell it. But if you look at those fourth quarter stats late in this game, that's when the Knicks imposed their will and basically stole game 2 from the Pacers. So, look, that's our MO, right? We never stop fighting. We just keep playing till the end.
We were punking the Pacers. We were out hustling them. We were just doing what we do best. Exactly what we did. Exactly what we've been doing all season long. Take a look at this graphic here. Most offensive rebounds this playoffs, 28. Josh Hart has 28 and 27 in Isaiah Hartenstein. Another thing, I mean, we haven't even touched on Isaiah Hartenstein, but I thought, first of all, game 2, I think that was OG Anunoby's best game as a New York Knick. From start,
yeah,
dominant. They could not guard this man, and that's what makes his injury suck even more. But he was getting wherever he wanted. His three-point shot was falling. But overlooking that was kind of Hartenstein. I think he was like 2 assists away from a triple-double. And he's been he's given. I mean, he's outplayed Turner for sure. I mean, Turner was a no-show in game 2, so Turner was another one who kind of talked after game 1 and didn't really do anything in game 2. So Knicks don't really have an issue getting out to Turner, but it's Isaiah Hartenstein, bro. It's this man. The assists, the rebounds, the push shot is like automatic. So
I love it.
yeah.
I love it, man. I mean, look, I was a little bit concerned with iHeart, especially after the 76ers series where, let's be real, man. I mean, look, Embiid was MVP for a reason,
Yeah.
and he was just taking it to iHeart. But in this Pacers series, started a little slowly, but look, in game 2, what I noticed the most is that the Knicks are finally taking advantage of iHeart and his passing abilities. You saw it. They'd give him the ball at the top, and he'll just find the open man, And that's the beautiful thing about iHeart. Very underrated passer, and he showed out in game 2, and we're gonna need more of that in game 3. So I think that's an X factor for us right there.
And Dante DiVincenzo dominated the Indiana Pacers in the regular season, and he is doing that in these first couple of games. He's been dominant. 28.6 rebounds, 6 3-pointers, 3 straight 20-point games for Dante DiVincenzo. He has looked incredible. And what I love is that even he's guarding Halliburton for the most part. He did a great job in game 1, but he's being aggressive too. And look, the Villanova trio, obviously, as we know, has been a gift. I mean, they've been absolutely incredible. Hart, I think, hasn't sat in 10 straight quarters or something like that. I have a graphic here about Josh Hart, but he's averaging 48.2 minutes per game over the last 5 games. He hasn't sat in 10 straight quarters, but look, he doesn't care. He's built for it. He's conditioned. But yeah, Chris, Dante, he's been awesome, right?
As advertised, right? We were saying that Dante was going to be one of the keys to the series. He was going to be a flamethrower, I think he averaged, 23 point something points per game against Indy. And we just said, hey, if he does a little more of that, we're going to be great. And he has. He's answered the bell, and he's hitting threes. He's hitting big shots. But more importantly, he's driving into the paint and finishing too. And his defense on Hallie has been great. And look, if he was able to shut down Maxey, he should have success against Halliburton, and we're seeing it. So, again, we're going to need more of the same. And Tibbs let it be known. He didn't really specify what it is or what it was, but Dante's also battling an injury, that he's playing through. So, our guys are just warriors, man.
Yeah, it's getting to that. It's like why? It's like blow after blow, but we just keep on getting it done. It's kind of like it's kind of like in the back of your mind, you're like, damn. Think about this. The Knicks. First of all, I have a picture of Rick Carlisle, a crying face, by the way. He's crying. That's what he was doing yesterday at the podium, just crying. But think about this.
Screen grab.
Yeah. I actually kind of edited his face a little bit to make him look like he was crying. So, but think about this. This is the worst Knicks team that we're going to see possibly in the next couple of years. And we are 2 wins away from the Eastern Conference Finals with major pieces out.
Yeah.
All of our draft picks in our bag. Major pieces still on the roster, just hurt. And we're doing this still. That's what makes this even sweeter. This is just the beginning. And it's not even over yet. So it's crazy, right?
Yeah. It's insane, man. I think about that a lot, and then I pause myself. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stay in this moment. It's about right now. I don't want to think about next season or the season after that. I just want to stay focused on what I'm seeing now and enjoy it, I think that's the thing. A lot of fans, we like to dream and we like to think about, what's up and coming. But look, stay in the moment and just enjoy this Knicks squad and what they're doing, man, because it's special. It's special, man. All the doubters out there, everybody said we're going to be a first round exit. No way we're going to even get to the same point we were at last season. Basically saying we were a fluke. And with all the injuries and whatnot, you probably would have thought it. But look, here we are, 2 games away from the Eastern Conference Finals. Come on, man. Come on, man.
And look, I know it's only one game, but that's 550 brought it up in the chat. Cavs cooked the Celtics tonight. So it's just, look, they can be, I don't know. I want to, obviously, it's first to 4, right? First to 4, then we can get there. But we are there. We are almost there. And we are just almost there, knocking at the door for the Eastern Conference Finals. But we just got to figure out how to close this series out without an Anunoby for these next couple of games. But as long as we got Brunson, and I think Precious would do a great job in that starting 5. I actually think he would guard. Like, I'm sure the Precious is the type of player that, like, there was times where he was struggling a bit versus Siakam in game 2. But he's the type of player that, obviously he knows Siakam from, like, the Toronto days. He's the type of player to actually, like, study and go back in the lab and figure out what he did wrong and then improve on that the next game. That's Precious, which is why, like, obviously when Mitch went down, it sucked. But which is why, like, I was like, okay, Precious has been stepping up for a long time when Mitchell Robinson was out. So I have all the faith in the world in Precious. All the faith in the world is in Precious. So don't you feel the same way? Like, it's even though he's offensively challenged, but it just, like, his chemistry with Hardenstein, and I just love when I see him out there.
That's it. And look, again, it goes back to the whole, next man up mentality that the Knicks have. It's up and down the entire roster. When Precious comes in there, you don't even bat an eye because he's gonna stay within his game and do, play his part. Like Tibbs always says, these guys know how to play their part. And they don't try to do too much. They don't try to go above or beyond what they're supposed to do. They just stick to the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to Precious coming out there, look, you're going to get what? Hard-nosed defense, high motor, and even on the offensive side, he's going to bang in the paint and attack the rim when he gets his chances. We've seen – how many times have we seen Precious drive out from the perimeter or on a fast break, trailing a fast break and just get an easy dunk or dunk on somebody at that, That's what we can expect from Precious, and that's what he's going to deliver in Game 3. I have no doubt about it.
All right, so I want to give you guys some hope here from Mr. Alec Burks. So February 10th versus the Indiana Pacers. I believe that was the first game we acquired Alec Burks. I believe so. He dropped 22 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 of 14 shooting, and 4 of 7 from 3 and 4 of 4 from the line. That is this year. He dropped 22 points against the Pacers.
Was that the game where he went off late in that game in the fourth quarter, where he hit like 4 of 7, I think it was, or something like that from 3?
I think so.
That's crazy. I didn't know that was against the Pacers.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. This is from StatMuse. So I'm on StatMuse's website. So the game is obviously right here. It's February 10th, 22 points. I believe it was the first game after we acquired Alec Burks. So, look, Pacers obviously, we know, don't play defense, right? So I think if Burks can come in here, 10, 15 minutes, hit a couple of threes, maybe do a few and ones.
Hey, man. It's not out of the realm of
I'm ready.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, in my opinion, man. Like you said, look, we're seeing a lot now, and I think we're going to see this in Game 3 a lot. They're going to rush Jalen Brunson, try to get the ball out of his hands. And why not have AB in one of those corners? Maybe when they start doing that, they take out Precious, whatever it may be, insert Alec Burks, put him in that corner, kind of go small a little bit. And then you got AB shooting that corner 3, which he's supposed to hit at a high clip. Come on, maybe that's the resurgence right there, you know? Who'd you
I'm,
rather have taking that shot? Precious or AB? No matter as bad as he's been.
obviously AB, but I'm trying to speak it into existence. I'm trying to get everyone, hype in the chat. I'm trying to, speak a great Alec Burks in existence in game 3 because also he has some playoff experience too. So I know it's going to be hard for him to just get thrown out there and like score 10 points for us, Mr. Burks, but he had a great game against Indiana this year. So him along with Sims, I think off the bench, look, next man up mentality, we've been doing it all year, and I think the guys are ready. Chris. So
yeah. And look, hey, that includes Alec Burks as well.
Yeah.
He's gonna be ready to go out there and play no matter what. He got in there for 44 seconds, right? Almost a minute. He still got a jumper off in that 44 seconds at that. So look, he's gonna be out there, and I'm sure, whether it's a minute or 44 seconds, hopefully it's a good he's good in those minutes, man. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see
he
what
will
Tibbs
be
does.
good in those minutes.
Hey, man, it's going to be interesting to see what Tibbs decides to do, man. Because, like, look, you can't just run 6 guys out there.
No, you
And,
can't.
Especially the pace that they're playing. Look, I know Josh Hart is conditioned to do it. Dante is. Obviously, Brunson can as well. But those other guys are going to be gassed, man.
Yeah, but, Terrence in the chat says Jericho Sims should also get some. Yeah, we talked about it, Terrence. I think Jericho Sims, we kind of like talked it through, and it just makes sense because if you start Precious, you're kind of small off the bench. So your big off the bench would have to be a Sims to kind of match their Isaiah Jackson, their Obi Toppin, who has actually had a sneaky good series. It's like whenever this dude is open, he's cashing his 3. You could tell he wants to have a good series versus the Knicks. So yeah, we're gonna be small off the bench. That's why we kind of talked it through and brought up Sims. But
yeah. I think this is a good series for Sims, right? If you were ever going to use Jericho Sims, I think this would be one where you'd use it. Even if it becomes a thing where, like, if Precious or iHeart get into foul trouble, you bring in Sims. I could see it in that scenario as well. But I think it'll be good for us no matter what. We definitely need the bodies out there, that's for sure.
Yeah. John in the chat says just worry about the guys we do have. We have enough. Got to get it done. Just 2 more wins. The Knicks are up 2-0 in this series. Like, it'll be obviously a different conversation if it was 1-1. But at the end of the day, we took care of home court. We just have to win 2 more games. And the next 2 are in Indiana. Tough place to play. But I wouldn't put it past this New York Knicks team to go in there and steal one. Like, I wouldn't. And they're going to want to. So
yeah. I think game 3 is the one to steal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Look, similar to the 76ers series, the pressure is on Indy right now. Knicks are up 2-0 going into Indy. Yes, I know Indy's going to be loud. They're going to be all ramped up, especially after the Carlisle comments and whatnot. Them against the entire NBA, basically. It's going to be crazy. But the pressure is still on Indiana.
Oh, yeah. They got to win.
And look, I'm sorry, but Tyrese Halliburton's out there in game 1 and basically no-shows game 1. Game 2 comes out there. The thing is, I wasn't as impressed, He was being more aggressive out there, going for the little floaters and whatnot. But look, let's be real. The majority of his shots came on offensive boards that were tipped out by the Pacers. Credit to them for doing so. They were controlling the boards for the majority of game 2. But there were wide open looks from 3, man. Almost anybody out there in the NBA is going to hit a wide open 3.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like he took over the game or anything. And that's kind of where I'm kind of going with it. Game 2, when Jalen Brunson leaves, Tyrese Halliburton should have stepped up and took over that game and got the Pacers up 20 or something like that. But instead, he's been kind of passive, man, in my opinion. This is the guy they chose over JB for Team USA. And then Brunson comes back out in game 2. The Pacers got shook. and he just takes over the game and leads the Knicks to a game 2 victory. You know,
Yep.
I mean, look, all the pressure is on Indy right now, and whether they're home or not, I think they don't want to see the Knicks, man. Even without OG Anunoby.
Look, yeah. I mean, Celtics are at least going 5 games now. I mean, look, they lost today, so if the Knicks can get tomorrow and kind of just wrap this series up quickly, you kind of like buy yourself an extra like week or week and a half until the next round. But obviously, don't want to get too ahead of myself and whatnot. John says, sorry, I'd rather put Shake in than Burks. Shake is younger, more of a chance of him going off.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, I agree. I always want to say, hey, you sign somebody, why not give them a chance?
Yeah.
And we haven't seen too much of Shake. And there's been moments where you could probably say, throw Shake in there, right? But I think with Tibbs, it comes that trust factor, right? And when you go kind of put yourself in the mentality of Tibbs, is if you got Alec Burks on one side and then Shake Milton on the other one, which one is he going to pick out of those two? I think it's going to be Burks, simply because there's been some, positives in the past with them together. So I think he'd always go Burks first and Shake. I could be wrong. I would love to be wrong because I think Shake can actually help us out. Thought he could have helped us out in the 76ers series as well.
Yeah, I like the things we saw from Shake, but yeah, like Chris said, it's the trust factor. And I think since we saw a glimpse of Burks in game 2, I think in game 3, that who is going to be the guy coming in off the bench. Kind of reset the rumor a little bit. We talked about, obviously the game 2 heroics of JB. Appreciate every single one of you in here tonight. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. We are obviously doing a little preview on game 3 right now, just trying to find rotations and trying to figure out what the starting 5 is. I think we kind of already know what the starting 5 is, but obviously we're just trying to find out the rotations off the bench, the Sims, the Burks, Deuce needs to step up for us, especially, now that, Jalen Brunson is questionable. But yeah, this has been a magic carpet ride. This season has been absolutely incredible, and it's just getting started, in my opinion. I know we're dealing with a lot of injuries right now, but just still, it's an incredible season, incredible playoffs for the New York Knicks, incredible ride for the Villanova crew, incredible ride for everybody, the coaching staff, and it ain't over. It ain't over. I know people feel down about this Anunoby injury. I kind of felt down today, but it's just like, why? Like, why him? Like, damn, man. He was just off his best game as a Knick. But, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks, man. Especially because of that. Look, OG Anunoby could have dropped easily 35, 40 points that game the way he was going, man. I mean, look, ultimately, yes, we needed Brunson because, the Pacers were making a run, even with OG out there playing the way he was. So, look, obviously, Brunson is the key piece here. So I'm happy he's okay, or seems to be okay, at least for the meantime. And OG Anunoby, man, look, I didn't know he had the bag he brought out. It didn't look pretty at times, but man, he was scoring, man. So shout out to OG Anunoby. I hope he gets better soon. Look, we obviously know he's not going to be out there game 3. Game 4 is probably looking like he won't be out there either, but the Knicks are keeping things, tight-lipped. There's still no real news as to what exactly is wrong with his hamstring. I've been seeing a few videos with some doctors out there saying, hey, if it's a high sprain, it might be a quicker recovery. If it's a lower one, then he might be out for a while. So we don't know what it is yet, but hopefully it's a higher side hamstring pull.
Knicks 100 GM, what's going on? Hart told Reggie to his face what the crowd was saying. It was just crazy. Like in game 2, the Knicks faithful in the MSG arena all collectively got together and chanted F Reggie Miller, pretty much, with Reggie Miller in the building. And by the way, the commentary, I think Stan Van Gundy, I used to like Stan Van Gundy in the broadcast, but it's just him, the combination of him with Reggie, I was just like, there obviously was patient bias there, and but I thought, and then Josh Hart went up to Reggie Miller after and said, I think they said, "F you."
That
So
caught me off guard, man. When
yeah,
when Josh Hart went up there and just dropped the F bomb on him, I was like, "Yo, Josh Hart is crazy, man. That's a real one right there, man." And it's tough to believe, man. I have a hard time believing that so many teams gave up on Josh Hart, man.
I know,
You talk
right?
about a throwback type of player that's just out there hustling, grabbing every board at 6'4". I mean, out rebounding iHeart for offensive boards, this playoffs. It's insane, man. You can't give. I gotta get me a Josh Hart jersey, man. I
Yeah,
gotta get me
I
a Josh
mean,
Hart jersey, man. That
I,
dude is the epitome. He's the heart and soul of this team, man. Look, Jalen Brunson is the head of the snake, but down to the heart, that's no pun intended, Josh Hart.
yes, indeed, I gotta get myself a Hart jersey too. The only two players in NBA history to total 285 plus points and 65 plus assists through the first 8 games of a postseason: Michael Jordan and Jalen Brunson. End of list. It's
Crazy.
what we're witnessing from Jalen Brunson is truly remarkable. Like I didn't think he would be this great. Like signing him, I knew he was good, but this great, I think everyone's lying to themselves if they thought he was going to be this great.
No, yeah. I
But
mean, look,
it's
I don't.
speechless.
Nobody out there thought
Yeah.
he was going to be this good. Look, obviously, when he was signed by the Knicks, it was lukewarm at best what everybody was thinking. Some people thought he was going to be the backup point guard. He was just, a holdover until we signed that big, free agent point guard or disgruntled point guard star out there. Nah, man. Jalen Brunson came in here and quickly at that showed us that he got what it takes, man. It's not gonna be Ant Edwards out there, overpowering you with, high leaping ability and all the flashiness. Jalen Brunson is doing it his way. He might not be the most athletic guy out there or the tallest, but man, he's getting results.
Like, yeah, John said coming into this year, the Knicks said that there was going to be another level they think Jalen Brunson can reach. And boy, has he reached that level. He had a great season last year, top 5 in MVP voting this year. Scary. It's scary. So
He just gets better and better every season, man. I mean, look, again, I don't want to think ahead, but damn, imagine if he unlocks another level. Maybe it's not offensively, maybe it's playmaking wise. Maybe he takes that to another step or
he
something.
did.
Like,
He's
I
been
mean,
assisting
further.
this year. Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. You definitely see the playmaking go up, but he can get even better.
Yeah. And he will. He will. As long as JB, I said it before the playoffs, as long as we got number 11, we got a shot. And boy, have the New York Knicks just played absolutely incredible. Still got 2 more to go. I think we'll get a split in Indiana. I guess these next 2 games, like, what are your kind of expectations from the squad? I know dealing with the Anunoby injury, we talked about it, some, but I mean, it's literally like what I expect is literally what they've been doing. I expect them to go out there and get a split in Indiana.
Yeah,
It's a tough place to play, though.
I think it's gonna be a split. I mean, I want them to get game 3 simply just because then you're really in the driver's seat there. Then you're talking about they basically have to play perfect ball and win out in order to come back in the series, and they're going to be demoralized if they go down 3-0. That's why I want it. I want game 3. I'm not going to say it's a must win, but it's damn near close to there for me at least, especially with, like you mentioned, if we are able to somehow close this in 4 games, that would be fantastic simply because we can rest our guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take 5 games too. So, that's what I'm thinking. And we've seen, in my opinion, the best punch the Pacers are going to give, in my opinion. Look, they came into MSG. Their bench played out of their minds basically in both games. One game, Halliburton didn't show up. The second game, he did show up, which all Pacers fans were crying about. Oh, Hallie didn't do nothing. You just wait till he drops 30. He dropped 30 and we still won. We
Yeah.
still won. So, in my opinion, how much further could they go as far as like improving offensively? You know, they don't play defense. And I think, again, that's going to be the key to this series. The Knicks can hang with them, the Knicks can score with them. And prior to OG Anunoby's big offensive game, you know, OG was scoring like 10, 12, 13 points. I think somebody else off the Knicks bench can give us that. If not as one player, as a collective bench unit.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, the Knicks are in a good spot, man. We're in a good spot.
We are. Just get one. Game 3 obviously is the one you want to get. Go up 3-0. Kind of, I have a poll in the YouTube chat. Are you concerned about the Knicks' health woes? 75 votes, yes. Is that 61%? No, we'll be fine. Is that 31%? So, look, at some point, it's like injury after injury, right? Injury after injury. But I think Deuce has to have a great game in Game 3, kind of have like a coming out party in this series. And I really think he will have a coming out party in this series because had such a great round 1, was playing incredible, hit some clutch, timely threes, Deuce McBride. So against the Pacers, really haven't seen that yet, but I feel like it's coming. I really do feel like it's coming. And typically role players, they play better at home. So I was kind of like weird to see Deuce, with the scoring numbers be low, but I just feel like it's coming. But it's the little things that obviously the Knicks still have to clean up stuff. Pacers go full court press every possession. And it seems like the Knicks still struggle to inbound the ball at times, which is like makes me want
Maddening
to
at this point.
pull my hair out. But yeah, it's just little things like that. And the simple crossover from McConnell, he's literally going left to right and crossing. You got Brunson a couple of times. You got Deuce a couple of times. So simple stuff like that they got to clean up.
I mean, look, when he does it, when TJ McConnell does it to Brunson, okay. Brunson's not a fantastic defender. Yeah. When he starts to do it and it's on Deuce McBride, that's why I said, like, it was a little concerning because, yeah, you're okay. You're not hitting your shots. You're going to have some nights where you're not hitting shots.
Yeah.
But his bread and butter is that defense. And when TJ McConnell is just bopping Deuce McBride and Deuce McBride is like chasing after McConnell, who's not a speedster by any stretch of the imagination, I mean, that drives me a little bit crazy, man. So look, I don't know what's up with Deuce. Maybe he was just due for a few bad games after the 76ers series.
It's coming.
But
it's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's coming.
I highly doubt he's gonna stay, 4 points the rest of this entire series.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
He's gonna get back to his usual self.
It is coming. Sammy on the chat says, "Do we think Precious can handle Pascal for the rest of the series?" Pascal's a great player. Like I think he can kind of like limit him a little bit, but obviously Pascal's gonna. I think the Pacers are gonna come out Game 3 and try to get Pascal Siakam involved early, and try to get the ball moving, surrounded Pascal Siakam. But look, Precious has shown us that he's a good defender. He's capable of it. So I think Precious will the task at hand. I think Precious is built for the challenge. All right, Chris, you want to do some trivia?
Let's do it. Are you ready?
You ready for some trivia? Those in the chat, we do a trivia every single podcast episode. This week, Chris is asking me a question, and you guys in the chat can chime in as well.
All right, so we got some NBA draft-related question here for you. Which spot was Dante DiVincenzo drafted in the 2018 NBA draft? Was it A, second round pick 31, B, first round pick 15, C, second round pick 33, or D, first round pick 17?
Dante was drafted by Milwaukee, right?
That's right.
And I'm pretty sure it was in the first round.
Sure about that?
I don't think he was a second round pick. Don't try to throw me off, man.
I'm just saying, man. Just making sure you think about everything here.
2018 NBA draft, a second round pick. All right, so I'm going to eliminate the second round picks because I don't think it was the second round picks. So to me, it's either pick 15 or pick 17 in the first round. And boy, oh boy, I want to say pick 15, but something's telling me pick 17. I know he was in the mid rounds. I'm gonna go. I see people in the chat try to help me out. Everyone, it seems like the collective answer is D. Man Overboard says it's D, no Diddy. So
No Diddy.
I'm gonna trust you guys in the chat, but I do think it's a first round, and I'm gonna go D, final answer.
The final answer. So first round pick 17 for Dante. You are correct, sir.
There we go. There we go. Let's go, chat.
Pick 15 in the first round actually was Troy Brown Jr. to the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, and he was picked
Second
by
round
17th
pick.
by the Bucks, right? Dante. I mean, first round,
Yep.
excuse me.
Yep, first round pick 17 was Dante to the Bucks. There's a little Knicks Easter egg in there as well. You know, second round pick number 33, none other than our guy, Jalen Brunson.
Ortiz is a
Insane.
second round pick, 31. Chris always tries to throw me off with these, man. Second round pick, round 31. S550 says we ain't gonna let you down there. Appreciate y'all in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all in the chat. But yeah, it's funny how Dante's kind of been passed around the league too, and Josh Hart. You know,
Yeah.
Dante, Milwaukee, Golden State. It's like you find the right spot, you find the right team, culture, and things can work out. And boy, have they worked out for Dante and the Villanova trio.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I actually forgot Dante was a first round pick. And look, Josh Hart was as well. I think in the 2017 draft, you know, he was the 15th pick
Yeah.
by the Lakers at that. So look, two guys. I mean, look, I'm glad they're on the Knicks, but it's insane how many teams, you know, passed up on them.
And now they are on the New York Knicks, and now we are 2 wins away from the Eastern Conference Finals, and we will get this split down in Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Have faith in the bench. Have spread positivity vibes towards Burks. I feel like he can do it. He had a good game versus Indiana Pacers this season, and I feel like he will do it, and he will do it. And obviously led by our master in Jalen Brunson. We'll get it done. We got this, guys. We got it.
Yeah.
2
Yeah,
wins.
I have all the confidence, you know. Look, obviously the injury bug is hitting us, and that sucks. It always sucks. I know Knicks fans are concerned. I am as well. But look, I still think we have more than enough, especially after what we've seen in Game 1 and Game 2 from these Pacers. Look, it's as advertised, right? Pacers can score. They're gonna run up and down the court. They play a little bit tougher than you would probably expect, but at the end of the day, their defense just isn't as good as what the New York Knicks have on the opposite side. So that's it, in my opinion.
That is it. All right, couple of channel announcements. Yeah, so if you guys want to do so, you can support us by becoming a member for as low as $2.99 a month. It really supports the Knicks Nation channel. We got behind the scenes access. I do my game previews over there. So you guys can support us by becoming a member. Also partnered up with Autograph app. Use code NYK to get access to the Autograph app. They have Knicks content in the app. We're in there. A bunch of Knicks content creators in there. They do giveaways. They did a Knicks playoff ticket Game 2 giveaway for Game 2. So they do those giveaways. They do jersey giveaways. So autograph, hit the app, use the NYK code, and as we're in there, and you can like futz around with it and whatnot. And also the Discord is open. Chris and I are in the Discord, so it's fun, man. It's not done. Job ain't finished. We still got 2 more. We'll get it done in Indiana. I appreciate every single one of you joining us here tonight. This has been fun. This is episode 52. Wow.
In the books.
52 of the Knicks Nation podcast. It's crazy.
Time flies, man.
It is crazy. And we ain't finished.
We ain't finished. We are just getting started, man.
Yes.
Just getting started.
Just getting started. All right. Game 3. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Go up 3-0. Take Indiana's soul. Make them cry even more. Make Rick Carlisle say something else in the media. So, jeez, man. What's a crybaby?
Can't believe it, man.
Yeah.
But, as always, it's let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Appreciate every single one of you in here.
I'm Chris.
We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.